Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to day 3 of Writers Week, 8th hour. I'm Mrs. Williamson. Let's just give it up for all the writers that you've heard come through the Writers Week stage this week. So first, just want to send a thank you to a few groups, the Viking Boosters, Fremd Administration and Faculty for letting us put this event on, the Fremd English Department for the work you've done in making this week happen, especially Mrs. Ink and Mr. Anderson. Woo! Give it up. Our tech crew, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Give it up for them. Speaking of which, just a specific request that if there's anyone sitting behind the spotlights in these two corners, if you can make your way out of those areas and into a seat, we just need those spaces clear. Thank you. And of course, a thank you to all you wonderful students. You've been a great audience so far. Let's keep that going today. Round of applause for you guys. So it is my pleasure to introduce our next Writers Week guest, Omar Holman. He is an alumni poet of Rutgers University and has competed in slam poetry for numerous years with two final stage appearances at the National Poetry Slam. He's been featured on Button Poetry and TEDx. In 2014, Omar Holman co-founded the Black Nerd Problems website with William Evans. Did he just come out? Okay, there he is. He's also the author of We Were All Someone Else Yesterday and Black Nerd Problems. We have copies of these texts up on stage. And I know that after you hear his performances, you're just going to want to come up and buy a copy. So we accept cash or card. Even if you just want to come up to say hi, you're welcome to. So without further ado, guys, you really need to bring the energy this period because Omar Holman will bring it this hour. So let's give a big round of applause for him.
How you guys doing? That's the most enthusiastic I've ever heard a high school student. Yes! Things are amazing in my life right now. Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna do things in reverse a little bit because no show is ever really exactly the same. So I'm gonna start out here and then we're gonna work our way backwards. So I started out doing poetry. I now write essays about like pop culture and things like that. I talk about like anime. I talk about comic books. Comic books are my specialty. I have a bunch of nerd tattoos. I'm a Green Lantern fan. I'm an X-Men fan. You're a real fan of something, you get a tattoo. I should not be telling children that. Okay, if you're a real fan of something, you get it tatted on you, so you know it's real. Check in with your parents first, because it was my when I was getting I got my first tattoo, and I made sure to bring my mom chocolate. And every time I got a tattoo, I kept bringing my mom chocolate. It doesn't work this way. I still get upset, but I will take the chocolate. I will take it. So I talk about a lot of nerdy things, and so what are those nerdy things? Let's get into that. So I will start this off doing some essays first, and you might be like, oh man, essays are really boring. Let me tell you something, you're right. No fun has ever come from an essay. So I'm actually here to bore you to death, all right? Like your teachers, you thought it was gonna be fun. No, I suck all the fun out. I'm an energy vampire, all right? Yes, exactly. This is going to be so boring. This is gonna be horrible. You know those old white dudes on tape that sound like this while they're reading things? And just makes you want to jump out of a window. That is exactly how I'm gonna read this. But since you guys are cool and I really enjoy your school and the first auditorium was so amazing, I will try and spice it up for you if I can just find where this is. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right, so as we get into our first boring topic that you probably care nothing about, but I'll ask you guys anyway. I mean, are there any fans of Mario Kart in here? I will murder you all in Mario Kart. None of you can see me. None of you can see me in Mario Kart. All right, cool. Wait, all right, hold on, okay. Yes. So wait, favorite versions of Mario Kart. You guys are younger, so I'm assuming like Mario Kart 8 is what you were rocking with? Mario Kart 7? So what's your, I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna be vulnerable with you for a second. I don't know if I'm older than you, so you might not remember this, or you might have heard it as a, as a whisper in the wind of hearsay. I should also start my timer so I know what I'm doing. 1 second. Where's my Say Sonic. I respect it. I'm a Knuckles guy myself. Boom. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Reset that. Boom. Okay. So I'm gonna be vulnerable with you. My favorite Mario Kart, I think the best Mario Kart was on the GameCube, Double Dash. Thank you. Thank you. 2 item boxes, 2 drivers. You can switch the drivers, throw the item back, drop the item back. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, my people, finally. All right, so I'm gonna read a section from this essay, and this essay is titled Mario Kart Reveals Who You Truly Are. And it's written by Omar Holman, Omar Holman, who is me. Also by my alias is AKA Rainbow Road Rash. You get it, thank you. Anyone remember Road Rash, the video game on Sega Genesis? No. Oh, what? Yes! I do this for the one person in the audience. I was there. Yes, yes. All right, so here's a fun thing about Mario Kart. We're gonna talk about it a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoy this. If you don't, just wait till after the bell rings and make fun of me outside the class, outside the auditorium. If you don't like this, remember my name is John Sands, not Omar Holman. All right, so Mario Kart doesn't make you who you are. Mario Kart, and there, if you hear me pause, that's because I'm skipping words that I should not be saying, and so I will not be saying that. So, we'll start again. Mario Kart doesn't help make you who you are. Mario Kart doesn't care about duty, honor, or saving anybody. Mercy. What the hell is mercy? Is that a protein bar? Is that a new 5-minute ab workout? Is that a useless update for your smartphone? Because it sounds like a useless update for your smartphone. Let me tell you something. There is no mercy in I respect that the Android users are being represented. Let me tell you something. There is no mercy in Mario Kart. Mario Kart doesn't make you a better person. No, Mario Kart reveals who you really are. Your true self that just wants to win, that needs to win. It's that same need that the game gives you to make you corrupt in your soul and bring the abyss out of you. You got 2 choices when that happens. You can recognize that although this game claims to be rated G and family friendly, you should stop playing because it's all a disguise for the abyss that consumes you with the level of intense competition that slowly brings out the ruthless parts of your soul that you didn't realize existed. Or you can stare into the abyss, and when it stares back, blow kisses at it, take a selfie with it, invite it to brunch for bottomless mimosas because you want to get comfortable and buddy-buddy with the abyss. You want the abyss to have the spare key to your place because you're ready to take this relationship to the next level. Because in Mario Kart, it's murk or get murked. I knew this from day 1 in Mario Kart, and I embraced it. I go out of my way to be a jerk to everyone on the sticks in Mario Kart. I'll let you know off the bat, I'm not your freaking friend in this game. Once that power switch goes on and PSENG starts charging us by the minute, I'm on the freaking clock. I am the guy throwing hands all over the track. And when I say throwing hands, I don't mean fighting everyone. A group of bananas is called a hand. Therefore, I'm the jerk, literally laying rows of bananas across the track methodically like they're C4 explosives. That's me. I'm saving the lightning bolt for when you're in the middle of a jump over a gap. Yes. That was me. When that blue shell creeps up on you and takes you out of first place yet again, that wasn't me. I don't get blue shells because I'm the guy already advancing on your spot up in first place like it's a house with the Sloman shield stopped working. Yes, that is me. Words can't describe how good it feels to have a freaking green shell in your hand and a racer in front of you, unguarded, unaware, just staring at the finish line in front of them. They're thinking it's all good. They got this. They're thinking they're home free, and then you Tokyo drift around the freaking corner, bend the block with the Koopa Troopa Choppa loaded up on them. They start feeling like Ricky and Boys in the Hood. If you don't know that movie, I'm going to explain it for you really quickly. And they book it for that finish line. But we both know how this plays out. We both know how this is going to end. They're yelling out, no, 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 not again, not this time. And I'm death scythe tending the cemetery lawn at 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning type of quiet, not even giving you the satisfaction of condolences with the sound of my voice as I let the red shell bang out on you. And I don't care who you are, brother, sister, nephew, uncle, grandpa, significant other, soulmate, love of my life, dude that does my taxes at H&R Block, boss, mailman, landlord, my best friend Phil from childhood that I haven't physically seen since the death of my mother back in 2011, and we both cried in the sight of each other in the street at her funeral. Everybody can and will get it. Okay, so I wrote this book with my friend William Evans, right? And he's got this theory. Are there any fans of The Lion King in here? Okay. Keep in mind, these are not my words. These are Will's words, all right? So we're gonna talk about The Lion King and some of the views that I want to express that Will had of The Lion King. Once again, that is William Evans. I'm just reading his work on The Lion King. Not my views at all. I'm not even kidding. This is really him. It's time we stop. Oh boy. It's time we stop pretending that Simba wasn't garbage in The Lion King. Written by William Evans, aka diversity consultant to Pride Rock. Say what you will about Disney movies, and there's plenty. But you can't be out in these streets acting like Disney ain't got hits. They've been servicing the young, the old with youngins, and everyone in between for 75 years, fam. But the banger, everyone in between for 75 years, they all know this. The one that makes you call up the fine gender nonconforming guy lying on a Friday night and ask if you're trying to Disney and chill is The Lion King. Ain't even close, folks. Not even. Lion King is exactly that. King of the damn Pride Rock, and to this day, it still tops my chart. But even as we come to give praise to one of the best that ever done it, we have to set some baselines first. 1, Rafiki was reincarnated as a brother in Atlanta named Darius. 2, Can You Feel the Love Tonight is one verse and a couple of lyrical choices away from being borderline risque for a G-rated film. And 3, Simba, the beloved protagonist of the film, is straight up landfill, trash, rubbish, election 2020, whatever you want to call it, man. Every time I see a clip of Simba whipping his premature mane back and forth, I want to yell at the TV, but you ain't that nice, B. You ain't that nice. I know Simba is an American icon, like a Kardashian or the Confederate flag, but I ain't convinced, man. William Evans' words, not mine. Simba made some calls that just don't sit right on my spirit. I recently watched The Lion King with my daughter, thinking that I was about to enjoy one of the best movies of all time, while watching my daughter enjoy the majesty of this film for the first time. Man, listen. As soon as Rafiki lifted your dude up to the heavens and the whole hood bowed, it all came rushing back to me like, wait, they bowing down for who now? Elephants lowering their tusks for the softest cub in the Pride Lands? But let's be fair. I guess it's pretty hard to follow Mufasa. It's basically like when Bad Boy tried to replace Biggie with Shine, and then the shady stuff went down in the club, and Shine caught 10 years for prison for it. I mean, he did have that one hit at least. Simba's I Just Can't Wait to Be King should have been I Just Can't Wait to Book This Passport Out of the Pride Lands when Scar, aka Marlo, moves in on my corners. But we should have known, man. We should have known when this dude hopped his behind on the back of an ostrich, smiling like Drake in a gentleman's club while singing in C major, You Can't Be King Like That, fam. King Robert Baratheon would never have been caught doing some dumb stuff like that, yo, and Mufasa one of the realest to do it. I get that. Mufasa was like every black parent that had gained the respect of his neighborhood and workplace, but still couldn't keep his son from doing some dumb stuff. Man, that scene when they walking back from the elephant graveyard with Mufasa, way in front, and Simba and Nala way in the back, reminded your boy of many a ride when I was sitting in the back of the Dodge, silent as hell, watching steam rise off my dad's head. But when Mufasa was gentle, when he proved the point and wrestled away that anger with his cub, then Mufasa was like, Simba, look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. Whenever you're feeling cocky, just remember, those cats was the real deal. and therefore exposing how garbage you really are. For real, man, Simba was a son of the king. This dude ain't have no chores, stayed getting into stuff, and never taking responsibility for his action. Basically, Simba is the lion version of privilege and affluenza. I know Scar set that up to murk Mufasa, but Simba was the catalyst, man. Scar was like the dude in Carlito's Way, offering, he's making a bunch of references. Oh, I cannot reference that, but okay, yes. I cannot talk about that. Basically, he's saying that Scar made the Pride Lands look like the Reagan era, and he basically brought crack cocaine into the Pride Lands. That's basically what he's saying, and Simba just let it happen. Simba just let it happen because Hakuna Matata, no worries. You are backpacking with your friends, no worries. Okay, all right. All right. I'll do some poems. Oh, man, that's funny to me. And when we're doing you do when you make a book, right, you'll have to go through like a legal department. And so they'll all right, if you're saying something in this book, it's got to be like known or kind of factual, because if we're implying something, then like someone could sue you for it. So we had we had to meet with like the lawyer from the legal team for Simon & Schuster. And I always assume that I'm the wild one. They're like, okay, that she's gonna have me go over a bunch of these essays. And Will's like, all right, and he's like, okay. So she's like, okay, so this line here about Shine catching a body or whatever, this is all before you were born, but like this hip hop reference you're making here, can you phrase it this way? He's like, well, this is what happened. We all know what happened. She's like, okay. Have you guys ever seen the X-Men movie, Days of Future Past? I mean, you say, so he's like, okay, he has a line where he's like, for dark-skinned girls that don't get cast to play Storm. And he's talking about Alexandra Shipp, who played Storm in that movie. And the lawyer's like, do you have some kind of issue with Alexandra Shipp, like personally? He's like, no, no, I mean, she was cast, she wasn't great, I'm just saying. And then it's like 2 essays in, and Will goes, this'll be really funny if I'm the only one with the problems with the legal team, and he was the only one with the problems with the legal team. It was amazing. It was hilarious for me. Because I'm the angel. All right, let's get into this. All right, we'll do this poem first, and then I think I'll read another one from there. But I also have a request that I will do too. So how many of you guys think poetry is usually boring? Be honest, it's fine. All right, take their names down. I want all their names taken down. Fine. So hopefully I will be showing you how it doesn't have to be that way. And I'll see if I change your mind by the end of this. Because when I was in high school, there's a dude Tony Jackson, he came in and my man was freestyling. My man was doing poems, and I had never seen anything like that. And then there was a kid that was sleeping in the corner, and he put that into a freestyle. I have never seen anything like this. And then he said one line. He was like, I'm coming back from tomorrow to see how far you've come today. And he said that line, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to do what he's doing, but I want to do it my way. And my teacher, Mr. Ryan, who was an English teacher, the creative writing teacher, and the theater teacher, he's like, all right, you want to do poetry? Here's how we break down. This is what poetry is. Here is the formula. You can make this any which way you want. So let's work on what your voice is. And you spend a lot of time finding your voice when you're trying to write. And that's my voice in an essay, and you're going to hear what my voice is like in a poem. Wouldn't it be funny if it was just like the most horrible poem you ever heard in your life? You're just like, go back to the essays. This is rough. I'll admit it. I kind of jumped the gun on that one. Quote, in track and field, there's a rule regarding all sprint races that the athlete moves within 0.1 seconds after the gun has fired. The athlete has false started. Got that from Wikipedia. I am 8 years old. Dad is walking me to a friend's house. I tell him, I don't need you to do this for me. Looking back, it must be hurtful to hear such a verbal confirmation that I'm more my mother's son. Dad asks, if someone came after you, what would you do? I'd run. He then points to the park 2 blocks away. If you can beat me to that tree in the middle of the park, then you're old enough to walk by yourself. I accept the challenge. I mean, I almost tagged Patrick in school last week, and he's the fastest kid in school. I got this. Dad said go. No lies. You've been proud of me, y'all. I was freaking gone. I'm up the first block already. Ain't even gonna look back. I know I'm good. It isn't until I get to the second block that I hear something in the distance. It sounds like thunder, but there's no clouds. I realize it's not coming from above, but from behind. I turn around, see my father, and feel the fear of God being put in me, realizing this is the first time I've ever seen this man run before. His form was 1936 Jesse Owens, Summer Olympics perfect. Mind you, at 8 years old, I have no idea who Jesse Owens is, but I somehow now know, having seen this man, Barry Allen toward me. That's a Flash reference. I don't know why, but I'm thinking, I still got a chance. I can see the tree. I have to be at least halfway. As soon as I turn my head forward again, I feel the ground shake. Look to my left. Dad was already beside me. He ain't even breathing heavy. You think the worst part of this story is that my father doesn't even acknowledge me as he passes me by. But it isn't. The worst part is, all I see now is him in front of me, in a hot salmon pink colored button up, blowing in the wind, beige shorts, high socks, and flip-flops. This man smoked me in freaking flip-flops. When I finally make it to the tree, he doesn't smile or say anything, just walks beside me as if nothing happened. And for the rest of the way, I'm hoping that he doesn't tell Mom about this. He did. You're not going to be hearing too many of those poems I did for the last auditorium, because it's all different experiences. Like, oh, did you do that poem? No, he didn't do this one for us. Do you talk about this one? No, he didn't. What the hell? Yeah. You didn't know what you're gonna get with me. I'm an item box in Mario Kart, baby. You want a red shell, you're getting a banana. That's what you're getting. Deal with it. You want a blue shell? No, you're getting a coin. Happy hunting. This is a case study in Black Girl Magic. After being dumped on New Year's Day, which is 2 weeks before my birthday, I'm in my room processing this and pouting. Keyword, pouting. When my mother walks by, opens the door and says, oh, God. Ugh. If you're gonna cry over a girl, at least cry over a girl with her own hair. Slams the door. To which I reply, I'm not crying, you're crying, shut up. I believe what we had was magic till Mom teaches me to spot the sleight of hand. Magic is defined as an extraordinary power, seemingly from a supernatural source. I watched a girl made of California love unwrap strands from silk scarf cocoon that bloom curl-shaped petals, waters each with their own concoction made from lemon juice, coconut oil, avocado, and shea butter. I feel like I'm watching an alchemist turn wool into golden fleece. I ask, does this ritual ever make you feel like a wizard? She says muggles wouldn't understand this magic. I see no illusion in her art. The closest I've ever come to understanding Black girl magic is in the story of Henrietta Lacks, a Black woman who had cells from her cervical cancer unknowingly donated to science. It was discovered her cells can be kept alive indefinitely. Now a Black woman living after her death, becoming the blueprint for cures after her death. What could be more Black girl magic than that? What could be more supernatural source than that? They have become known as the immortal cell line. Her name, race, and family aren't afforded the same luxury. Notice, when in the name of science, history will say donated when they mean taken. History will say cultivated when they mean stolen. History will say discovered when they mean look at what we own now. By all rights, this should mean that Black girls can be defined as a supernatural source from which extraordinary power is constantly being derived from. I know this to be no sleight of hand. When moments after my mother became past tense, I sat with my head on her deathbed, apologizing for not being there. I'm sorry became my mantra, my incantation, my ingredient to a spell I wanted to believe would bring her back if I just meant it enough. Years later, I meet a girl made of sea salt and tonic, and the things they say about her. Heard she had a slave ship's reckoning, Says her path to America was an immortal line of outstretched black hands from the Atlantic. I see the Lord's work when she walks here in an orthodox book of memory in her laugh. Taste the remnants of a spell she casts in the cauldron of black lipstick as I bestow the biggest honor I can think of and tell her my mother would have loved you. Because my mother is. Because my mother was. It was magic. The 4C complex. Anyone know what the hedgehog's dilemma is? The hedgehog's dilemma. Cool. I'll explain it for those that don't. The hedgehog's dilemma is a metaphor about the challenges of human intimacy. It describes a situation in which a group of hedgehogs seek to move close to one another and share heat during cold weather. They must remain apart, however, as they cannot avoid hurting one another with their sharp spines. Though they all share the intention of a close reciprocal relationship, this may not occur for reasons they cannot avoid. The black girl dilemma, or sometimes known as the type 3A through 4C kinky hair dilemma, is an example about the challenges of white folks touching a black woman's hair without permission. It describes a situation in which a group of Caucasians or strangers seek to satisfy their curiosity about said black girl without awareness or consideration for said black girl's feelings, existence, or well-being. Though the person will perform a dance of words to say their intentions are well-meaning, they cannot avoid the inevitable offending of the black girl. Though they mean well, making contact with the black girl's hair, however, will not occur for reasons they both cannot avoid. Now, there is no term to explain the occurrence of when a black girl and black boy explore one another's hair, but I came close to defining it in a bar in Brooklyn when I had been black boy sitting with black girl, the both of us attempting to water to wine ourselves from strangers to friends. And what better way than the decision to navigate her fingers through the soft of my forest? Notice her mouth reveal a crescent moon. When she sees her fingers disappear into my midnight, I raise my hand, stop! Then ask, may I touch your hair? She replies, yes, you may. I feel there's something to be said when a black woman gives you permission to touch her hair. No, art, God. And how do you describe this texture of God, this chorus of course, a thick quilted hymn? When a black woman gives you permission to touch her hair, it's a front row seat to so much sky, a crown of clouds that look like a succulent. No, a weeping willow, maybe a heart shaped to bloom in full. I don't have the words, just a calm of trust running my fingers are on the summit of her hair. For us, we're exploring each other's altars, but I imagine to onlookers, the both of us, hair thick as quills, must look like two hedgehogs, admiring each other's spines. The blackest night of my life was a Friday night on Frederick Douglass Boulevard in Harlem, sitting in a restaurant, enjoying the company of a macaroni and cheese-filled skillet that accompanies my first taste of catfish and grits as Tupac's Ambitions as a Rider baptizes the room, and the parties where it be so packed. The most African-American night of my life was my first time in South Africa, standing in a room full of countrymen, singing songs of their nation word for word by heart as I just stood there, listening to my lover sing with her countrymen. I'm here in the moment, not alone, but alone. Ashamed the songs I know adhere to a different flag. American boy, stranger, in a land he should call home. Foreigner, in a land that's for his own but not his own, where that atmosphere be so black. So I got a nephew I wrote this book for, and I dedicated it to him. And it's about like he was young, so he wouldn't know what his grandmother was like. So I wrote this book for him, and so he appears in it a lot. His name is Noah, and this is my nephew learns about race. Noah, do I have to be American? Can I just be Singaporean? He was born in Singapore. My sister, she explains the difference between citizenship and race. Me, I lean into his face. Hey, man, race is a social construct made to hold you down, my guy. 5 minutes later, Noah, I wasn't born yet. I was in your tummy. Sister, that's right, me. Leans into his face to tell him where babies actually come from. My sister Omar, no. No, I didn't. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying. I don't know if I'm a good uncle or not. I'm 38, but it's like it feels like when your sister has a kid, it feels like having a younger brother. That's the way I approach it. And so but when I have to be an adult, it switches. And so there was one time, my first time being left alone with him, and he gets to stay up late on the weekends. And my man, he's 12 now, but he was 7, 8 at the time. And I'm like, all right, it's like 11:30 p.m. I'm like, all right, man, I'm getting tired. I'm like, all right, man, let's get you in bed because it's been a big day. Let's get you in bed and you can stay up tomorrow. He's like, no, but I get to stay up late today. But I'm like, yeah, but it's like, no. It was like midnight. It was like 12:30. I'm like, yeah, but you'll probably you'll sleep late. Let's get you in bed, man. He's like, no, but I get to. I'm like, I know, but you can take your iPad into bed with you and watch it there. No, but I want to. And my man just starts crying. And so I just stop, and he's crying in front. So I just stop. I sit down in front of him and just look at him. I'm like, yeah, no, get it out. Go ahead. And I'm like, are you done? Yeah. You ready to go to bed? All right, man. Like, come on, no, you tried to trick me. No. Lies and deceit. Didn't tell his mom about it either, but I wanted to. Like, oh, you tried to play me. All right. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves. And I'm going to give you some poems about... All right, let's do this. Since I touched on that topic, let's do this. Having the talk with my nephew. I pulled my nephew aside and gave him a stern talk when he wasn't following directions. I'm like, what are you doing? You keep rushing ahead, not thinking about what's in front of you. You can't run out in the world like that. I'm not always going to be here to save you, and I can't protect you if I don't see you. What if you got stuck over there? You only got one life, man. You have to be more aware of your surroundings. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? You don't want to die, right? That's not what you want, right? Okay, then get it together and eat, stomp, or throw balls of yarn at these freaking shy guys, man. Stop running into them. Hey, you said you wanted my help in Yoshi's Woolly World, all right? You got to be calm playing this game or it'll end up like Super Smash Bros. All over again, all right? All right? Cool, let's go. This poem is called, How Am I Supposed to Explain Regular Human Interactions Between Consensual Adults to My Kid? So the answer to where the babies come from. This is how I told him. Noah, age 8. They've been together forever. Me, that's because they're dating each other. Noah, what is dating? Oh, me. Crap. No, inner me. Crap. He cornered me into being a responsible adult. Me, well, when a boy and a girl, or a girl and a girl, or a boy and a boy, or just two or more people like one another and spend time together on purpose. Noah, if it's a boy and a girl, that means they're gay. Me, yeah, which is normal. Noah, yeah. Is my hot dog ready yet? Me, yeah. Noah, how many girlfriends have you had? Enter me. I thought I was home free, man. Why are we... Me. How many have you had? Noah. None. Me. All right, then. I've had a few. My nephew is cute. I used to, before I lived in New Jersey, I grew up in Hackensack, New Jersey. Before that, I moved around a lot with my dad and with my mom. I grew up with my mom mostly and my dad a little bit. And I remember being 7. I was taken from a school that I knew. I'm a new kid in school in 2nd grade. I'm getting beat up for just being new. I'm like, what is this? What the hell is this? I become friends with the bully by being kind because he didn't have a marker one day. And he's like, I'm going to get you at school. Then the teacher was like scolded him for not having a marker. And I was like, yo, Deshaun, tossed him a marker. And he could not fathom. He was like, what? You showed me, what? This doesn't, well, hold on. Wait, this doesn't compute. And we were friends after that. And so I was always telling my nephew, like, yo, man, nah, when I was 7 years old, let me tell you what life was like when I was 7. I didn't have a couch in my room like you. This kid he was born with his hamstrings, like, the muscle here wasn't that long, so he had to cut it in order for it to be like, so he wouldn't like walk on his tippy toes like a pony. And so my man has had he had to get a surgery on one leg, surgery on another leg, then surgery on both legs again. This dude has had maybe like 6 surgeries for his legs. And I'm like, you got it, man. You're having like NBA like level surgeries, dude, and you're only like 8 at this point. Like, you got it, man. You own it. 7, 8, you were the toughest 7-year-old I've ever met. Here's your chocolate milk. Let's do this poem. Actually, hold on. Oh, I can't curse. I am doing fairly well with this. Let's go with I'm like, can I get away with this poem? Yeah, let's do this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try it. Any Dungeons and Dragons fans in here? You'll respect this. You will respect this. Other people are like, oh God, no, I knew this was coming, no. Oh, I cannot say this. Okay. All right, so this is called, after a very popular song by Jay-Z and Kanye, this is called Friends in Middle-earth. Not Paris. All right. At an open casting call for background hobbits in the movie The Hobbit, an Indian woman showed up and was told, no, you can't be in this movie because you're too brown to be a hobbit. Meanwhile, in Middle-earth, me and my friends tying bandanas around the horns of our unicorns. There's a horde of mackerel aggressions headed toward us, and we ready to ride out, because I'll be damned if they gentrify our homeland. That plus 999 Phantom armor on my chest, dripping candy paint. Got this looking like Black Death excellence. Got this looking like, what dragon gonna smite me? I'm thinking, no white privilege conjured against me shall prosper. But if it does, they'll have to roll the die with a steel piece on my side. An obsidian blade on my hip called Perfect Dark, given to me by the lady Yonsei of the Lake. She said, it's dangerous to go and be black boy alone. Take this right before she black girl magic a sword of peak blackness onto the kid. When it leaves the sheath, all I hear is, As each swing in battle, you can hear it sing the names of all my lost kin. Sounds like thousands of black bodies calling for the blood of whatever false god these sorcerers of life and of love and light scapegoat their actions behind. Whatever false god deemed white magic the privilege to the right of being right. You look concerned a little bit. This is just a poem about Dungeons and Dragons. Not a metaphor for the race war, guys. It's okay. The readers of this should know this is totally a metaphor for the race wars that is in fact coming. And I roll with a squad of Southside sages, and they rock their wizard hats cocked to the side like fitty caps. Elder scrolls taped across the waist, spells tatted on their neck, down for a flyby, riding on a griffin with that rosewood wood wand locked and loaded with a banana clip of mana in the chamber, shouting Southside Hufflepuff till I die. We, proud members of our environment over here, not sure if we'll live to see the age of 21,000. I buried my brother in arms last night. Her body, a pine box wrapped gift back to the earth, her spear, still chest deep through a cyclops that bit off more than he can mess with, but that won't make the front page of your fiction novel, because they want to say we don't belong here, as if we didn't exist in this time, as if we ain't from the same Middle Earth, where my mother's mother fought dire wolves, giants, and kings drunk off their own manifest destiny to keep her piece of Middle Earth and this family for 5 millennia, so I'll be damned if we give home up. Be damned if our banner comes down. Be damned if I come back home with my shield and no fistful of crowns to show that we were here. We've always been here on our piece of earth, from the same Middle Earth, drunk off our own divinity. Oh, God. That is my favorite part, because when I usually do that poem, everyone looks so concerned, like, this is not about the race war. I'm just joking. Ha ha, I'm kidding, it's not. It is a joke, though. So let's do this one because I think we have just enough time for this. So this is 10 things I want to say to a black nerd. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 8 of us in here. After Jennifer, this is after Jennifer Fallou's 10 things I want to say to a black man. 1, it's so hard being a black nerd. 2, the books you love don't have many heroes or villains that look like you. It's not the color, but the content of the characters that keep you reading. 3, you thank God for Donald Glover and his songs as Childish Gambino. Listening to him is like having Nikola Tesla sitting shotgun in the DeLorean while doing donuts in a GameStop parking lot, top down as Tesla says, is that the new Afrofuturism mixtape? Homie, turn that up. 4, Batman's superpower is generational wealth and stock options. That has nothing to do with the rest of the poem. I just felt it really needed to be said. 5, there's nothing more beautiful than a black nerd girl. Anytime you see proof that they're down with their fandoms, you dance revolutions around your heart. If she has natural hair and wants to converse about Converse, plus 10 damage points. Talks trash whenever she beats you in Mario Kart, plus 25 skill points. If she watches Craig of the Creek and writes her own fan fiction, there's no calculation for how awesome that is. 6, when you get the girl, you'll remember every detail, like how the paint on her nails chips into isolated islands. When you get the boy, you'll reminisce on how you made Oblivious look like the new Abstinence. When you have each other, you'll recall the memory as an 8-bit adventure. Call it old school, call it classic, whatever symbolizes that the moment was an arcade high score you both achieved together. 7, your most hood moment was on Game of Thrones, when they killed Ned Stark. Even as I mention it now inside, you're saying to yourself, they killed my dude Ned, man. They killed my dude Ned. For those of you that don't know, Ned Stark's death was equivalent to when hip-hop heads lost Biggie Smalls. Or when Friends went off the air for white people. 8, your black friends say, hand over your black card because they never watched The Wire. Your white friends think, having watched The Wire, it's okay for them to say they're blacker than you are. So, nerd is a new black, since everybody want to be a nerd, but don't nobody want to be a nerd. 9, a nerd off is the closest you will ever come to battle rap. It occurs when someone corrects you on a topic obnoxiously. Should you choose to engage in this battle royale of facts, your retort should always sound something like this. Actually, Blade is the movie that kickstarted all this other superhero movies. And once you see that look of, oh, they about to murder me, on their face, you Highlander them with a stare that says, you gonna get this work because I'm a grade school graduate with a master's in the universe, and you ain't bout this life, son. 10, it's so hard being a black nerd, slinging 6-sided die on the block, keeping it retro when you pop out the Nintendo 64 like an all-black Impala, all-black everything, because that's what you've always been. Everything from Chuck Taylors to lightsabers, from press start to game over. I hope you guys have enjoyed this show.